Hey guys, welcome back to Her Lie I Tried to Believe. This is Nocturnal V.1. Yeah! Um, so far, I think Tim and Cassandra got together. I don't know why. It's very weird. Can't come up with an intro. Need to animate something. Anyways, I will start reading. I don't remember much about that night. Or maybe I just don't want to remember. The only thing I can say for sure is that there was something I found out about myself that day. Something that I probably shouldn't have. As I was about to leave the hotel, it must have been around 5 a.m. the next morning, Cassandra stopped me casually and said, "I want you to come back and see me every week, next week, alright?" And my reply to that was, "Not a chance, idiot." She flashed me a smile nonetheless. I wonder if she knew. I wonder if she knew she already had me. So it is a love story. It's a messed up love story, I'll give it that, but it's a love story nonetheless. After that, I met with her on the same day, once a week. We would drink together at that bar she's working at, and we would always finish the night at the same hotel right after. But Tim, don't you have a girlfriend? It doesn't matter, boy. Okay. It must have been around the third week that I finally decided to ask about it. She was speaking to me at great length, like always, just after having sex. I was sitting on the corner of the bed, listening to her half-heartedly while sucking on a cigarette. Yeah, I was a smoker by then. Took the habit out of nowhere, probably to look even more pathetic than I already was. Yeah, lung cancer. We should go see it together. They say the movie is the movie of the decade. Shut up, I said to her brusquely in reply. Yet, I wonder if you'd pay for my entry fee. I bet you would. You're the type of man, after all. She was laughing and smiling like always. I first thought she would stop acting this way the moment she finally showed me her true self, but she betrayed my expectation. She's exactly the same, whether we're alone or not. The only time when she behaves differently is when we're having sex. She would fixate me, always in the eyes, with a frightening passion. Normally, I'm the only one who's cold and violent, but when we're having sex, she could very well be seen as disturbed as I am. I wondered then why she was always smiling. Was it fake, or was it not? Even I, who knows her better than anyone else, have no clue. How could someone as empty as her smile so thoroughly like this? I badly wanted to know, but why? Why was I even involving myself with the likes of her? It's not like my feelings had changed all of a sudden. I still very much hated the thing she is. I didn't understand myself anymore. Still, I needed to know. So, without thinking much, I asked her something for the first time since almost forever. I asked her something I wish I hadn't. Why did you end up this way? She was surprised, obviously. I had disturbed her while she was speaking, but her surprise didn't come from that fact. She looked at me and smiled at me silently for a time, but not with that smile. A smile as though she had won something. A smile as though there was hope somewhere, somehow. She was just genuinely happy, I think. Or maybe there was something with that smile that I didn't understand back then. All I knew was that she was waiting for that question. So she told me her tale, Some stereotypical bullshit I didn't want to hear. Her father had a lot of money when she was younger. He was some kind of successful businessman or investor of whatever. I didn't listen all that well, to be honest, but he had enough money to get by, was the term she used, whatever that meant. And in 5th grade, out of nowhere, Cassandra started showing interest in her studies. So much that she was at the top of her class every following year. Seeing her growing up to become such an outstanding woman, her father decided to invest in her by starting paying for her later education, some kind of prestigious university or something like that. Didn't even know you could pay for such a thing so early in the game. Anyway, now for the plot twist. Her father pretty much lost everything by trying to invest in some real estate market bullshit. Wrong time, wrong place. That's what they always say now, anyway. So sure enough, now that he was poor as shit, he started thinking about the investment he made on his daughter. The problem is, such an investment takes a really long time to pay off. That, and the fact that it's your effing daughter, you piece of shit. She deserves at least that much. But anyway, he kind of started mistreating her by blaming his sorry ass on her failure to graduate sooner. And by that time, the effer got his feet even dirtier by gambling away the little he had to subsist. So in the end, drum roll, she was forced to quit school and started working. At least, the good man who her father owed money to was kind enough to show her a high-paying job she literally couldn't refuse. And that's pretty much it. Now for a test of my effing conscience. If I hadn't started forcing my ideal of rivalry upon her, would she have still ended up like this? Or better yet, even if she did, couldn't I have done something for her? I mean, in high school I had kind of noticed that something was strange, but did nothing nonetheless. So is it my fault? Maybe. And so what? It didn't affect me in the slightest. Not in the slightest. Yet, I still wish I hadn't asked her this. One of the last things he was always saying to me before he died was, "You're the golden egg that never hatched, the definition of useless." I get up from the bed. I need to go now, I said, though I didn't really need to. That fast? But I want to be with you, and you paid for the whole night, and... She was sulking, puffing her cheeks like a child. If I weren't an asshole, I would probably have found her behavior cute, but my only thought to that was, "You're disgusting." I took my keys from on the coffee table and left, her words still hanging. "You'll come back next Thursday, right?" Closing the door behind me, I stayed for a time there, motionless. My hands were clenched tightly in the form of a fist. I was frustrated for some reason. If I had stayed for a minute longer, those fists would have probably been thrown at her. Ugh. I had a hard time understanding myself. If it hurt so much staying around her, why was I always coming back to this place? Am I yearning for this? This pitiful excuse for a relationship? I had a vague idea as for the reason behind my illogical behavior, but I didn't want to think it true, because this would mean my whole life was even more of a joke than I first thought it was. Man, these episodes are going really fast. I'm not going to stop here, though. I'm going to go another chapter. The 7th week marked a change in this stupid routine of ours. By then, we were already no longer meeting at our workplace. Instead, we would simply meet directly at our hotel room, which means we could see each other at a more appropriate time than in the middle of the week, and I would no longer have to pay for her fees as well. And this I found very shady indeed. Because the reason we only saw each other on Thursday was because she worked only on that particular day. But that doesn't make any sense, does it? How is she able to subsist for herself if she only works once a week? Sure, she may have another job somewhere, or more like, she definitely must have. But every time I ask her, she simply denies it, and I won't go out of my way to get the answer out of her. I don't care enough for that to happen, but it's still nagging me somehow. I entered our room nonchalantly like I always did, and she was waiting for me on the couch at the far back of the room while looking at her phone, like she always did. "Oh, you brought us food! You're so diligent. I hope you didn't forget a fork this time around." She throws herself at the bags I was carrying like a bundle of energy that she... "Hey, this is my lunch, you idiot!" "You say this, yet there are 2 bags. You're so not honest with yourself." Man, she's such a kid. You put a bit too much mascara there. What is that? A black eye. Your fork is in the... Wait a minute. Ah, he noticed it too. Huh? Where is it? She doesn't look my way. She's too engrossed in searching the contents of the bag frantically with question marks hovering over the top of her head. Or at least, that's what she's trying to make me think. I drop my keys and jacket on the floor right then and there. I took her right arm forcefully, enough so for her expression to contort in pain. With my right hand I push her chin upward to better see the features of her face. "What is it? We're not even in bed yet. You're so naughty today," she says teasingly. "Shut up!" She stops speaking instantly with my powerful words. I softly brush around her left eye with my thumb. Her eye closes instinctively by my touch. But if she applied makeup to hide it, it's still very much visible. "I don't remember having done this to you. Who did this?" This? It's nothing, really. It doesn't hurt, see?" She pushes 2 of her fingers against the corner of her left black eye. And though her words say otherwise, she still looks in pain the moment she applies pressure on her skin. "Answer me!" She simply looks down, almost ashamed of herself. Instinctively, I try to put my hand over her waist to comfort her somehow, but the moment my hand touches her body, I see her grimace slightly. I take her shirt and lift it up without minding destroying the damn thing, and sure enough, there are dark marks all over her waist and belly. Marks that only a man could have done. "Answer me, goddammit! Who did this to you?" Well... She thinks carefully about her next words. "You know, sometimes clients get out of hand, and..." "Which one?" I don't know him. It was my first time I saw him, and I don't remember his face." My grip on her only tightens up the more words she adds. "Isn't it your employer's job to make sure these things don't happen in the first place?" "Even if that's the case, doesn't change the fact that I have a black eye, right?" "Please, let's just not talk about this, all right? I want to enjoy myself. I've literally been waiting for today all week." I didn't answer her, nor did I look her way. I was lost in thought. I didn't understand why I was so frustrated. It was uncontrollable, and I know I shouldn't act illogically, but doesn't mean you know something that you'll automatically apply in your thought process. "Is this because you don't like this? I can try apply more makeup if you want. I'm sure you won't notice it when we're having sex, so... I should let go of her. If I continue on adding pressure on her arm like that, it will definitely swell up. Yet. Come. What? Are we leaving already? And what about the food? You can eat it in the car. Now come. But it will be cold. And where are we going anyway? Far from all this. Really far from all this. Man, this all sped up. It was on impulse. It had already been 2 hours since we left the hotel. I was driving in the middle of the night, not knowing still where this road was going to lead us. She had stopped talking and asking me questions for a while now, only looking through the window motionlessly. She still hasn't touched her food yet. She was mad, maybe. It was too dark for me to really see her expression from the angle of her face. Still, I was curious about her thoughts right now. She, who would never show her true color, what lies underneath her carefree and good-natured demeanor? Maybe something like me? But her silence was too good to be true. Soon, her mouth started moving again. You're really doing this, aren't you? Do you even know the impact of this choice you're about to make? I don't care. Then why are you doing this if you don't care? I'm doing this because I can't stand seeing you like this anymore. That's why. Don't you understand that this life of yours is not worth living? If this continues on like this, they're going to... To what? Kill me? Break me? Why should you care? Shouldn't you be rejoicing? After all, you hate me. Shut up. But it's the truth, isn't it? Shut up. I shouted at her. I didn't want to have this conversation. I didn't even know the answer myself. All I knew is that I needed to get as far away as possible, as soon as possible. Is this because you feel responsible? Is that it? Then I'm going to clear things up once and for all. This has nothing to do with you. It never had. This has always been my father's fault to begin with. This is not your responsibility. Understand? I'll be the one judging on that. They are the mafia, Tim, and I owe them a lot of money. If I disappear like this, they are going to pursue me and find me. And if at that time you're there with me, they're not going to let you off easy. They're going to... She stops talking. From the corner of my eye, I can see her tears rolling down her cheeks uncontrollably, as if the thought of my death alone was enough to make her cry. What of it? I can sense her powerful gaze on me the moment those words leave my mouth. Anger. Something I've never seen throughout her features, no matter how I treated her, has now been triggered by those simple and trivial words. Don't you understand how dangerous this is? They're going to kill you. You have a girlfriend, don't you? And a job you worked hard to obtain. If you persist in trying to save me like this, they're going to throw away everything you've been trying to build your whole life. You can't sacrifice all this for something as stupid as... My foot slammed on the brake pedal with all its might. The scream of the tires stretched out for a long 5 seconds, until the car finally stopped completely. I then leaned on her, unlocked her door, and opened it as one single motion. If you don't like this, then get out. We're still close to the bus station. You can probably manage to return to the city before morning. I have made my decision, and I don't plan for you to understand it. Responsibility? Toward whom? You? Don't make me laugh. I'm doing this for myself, all right? She muttered one single word. Liar. How stupid can you be? I ain't effing lying, you dumb bitch. A girlfriend, a job, a life. I have no interest in those effing things. I've always felt completely empty. All those effing painful life of mine has always been one big reoccurring joke. No. I've been waiting for this kind of opportunity all my life. It just so happens that it is tonight. Now, or you follow me and become my partner in crime, or you get the F out and return to that hell you proudly call your life. She looks at me in the eyes, the same way she always does when we're having sex. She has no smile. She has no expression. She has no happiness. The purity with which she's always been looking at the world around her is nowhere to be found, as if it was always but a fleeting illusion. This is the real her. She doesn't shift her cold gaze from me while she's closing her door slowly. I've waited for this my whole life, and there's no way I'm going to let it get away from me like this. Let's go. Those are her words, powerful, without any hesitation. I don't say anything back. I'm not able to. Her determination seems dangerous somehow, so I just unconsciously start driving again, as though this whole conversation never took place. I break eye contact with her to focus on the road. Is this maybe what they call eloping? It's exciting! The moment my eyes fall back on her, she has the most beautiful smile I have ever seen in the world. Well, we got 3 episodes. I'd say that's more than enough for one video. Hey guys, thanks for watching if you did. I really do enjoy doing these kinds of series. Just reading. Yeah. Leave a comment down below on what you thought, and guess I'll see you guys in the next video.